Alrighty. Let's see if this works. Alrighty. So, I am genuinely live. It should be working. Yes. Alright. It's fine. It's okay. We can be patient with Hiram. He's chill. Alright, I'm gonna head back to stream it. We can communicate now through the highly inefficient way. Fisheye lens, and I love it. Cause it's peak. Alright. Okay, hopefully the chat should work. Let's just test it out, I guess. That works. I know, because I'm running on YouTube. That's why. No. Heck no. Isn't Mixer dead? Perfect. Alright, I'm gonna leave this now. Yes, we can communicate through chats. Okay. This is my GarageBand file. Because, yes, I'm a producer too, and I use GarageBand for my method. That's what I use. Now, is there a better way I can find my chat? Because this is, like, I'm squinting very hard right now. Forgive me for being a bit of a noob when it comes to using YouTube. I've only been using it for live streaming for the past couple of years. I just don't know how to use it. Like I feel like I'm old, you know? Nope, that's the wrong button. Um Yikes. Hopefully I'm not doxing myself by accident. That'd be tragic. What the heck do I do? Am I stupid? Or am I like, am I feel like I'm just slow in the head. Cause like I don't, like right now, how, how, is this it? Is this right? Is this doing a thing? Alright, there we go. I'm a little bit slow in the head when it comes to the YouTubes. So now I can actually see my chat now. That's perfect. Okay. So this is my song Slint. This is pretty cool because this song I spent a lot of time working on. So we're actually gonna deconstruct the song. So if you haven't listened to it already, it's on my YouTube page. So we're just gonna come in and I guess we'll talk about the opening bit. So what we got going on right here is we got three main things going on right here. So this is I have a $25 garage sale guitar that I got. Playing some chords here. Just sounds beautiful in your left ear. Recorded with my computer mic. So it doesn't sound very good, and it's recorded in my very echoey room. So that's pretty cool. So alongside that, which is kind of the bigger elephant in the room, is this distortion pedal that I made on my guitar. If anyone's got any questions in the YouTube chats, you can let me know. Because this song breakdown is going to take a while. So this is actually oftentimes what I use. Whoa. That sounded cool. I used a really weird chord there. I don't even know what I used there. What did I use? Like, listen to that. That chord, like, that doesn't sound right, but I like it, though. And then, of course, we have a secondary acoustic guitar. Or no, this is not acoustic, sorry. This is a slight delay pedal on my electric guitar. Thank you, Amy, for complimenting on my fish lens. So the bass is recorded on a Fender bass. So now this is where it starts to get cool. So right here is actually where it starts to diverge into two main time signatures. So the guitar is playing in a 3/4 time signature, and the rest of the band is playing in a 4/4 time signature. This is partially because GarageBand is dumb and it doesn't let you change your time signature mid-song, and it ended up sounding really cool. So here's the 3/4 riff that I seem to have mangled a little bit. So it's actually two different riffs. So you can see over here, it's actually completely off time, which I think adds to the vibe to it all, which is really cool. So again, two different riffs that are even going on here. With a ton of reverb on them. Just gonna make sure that everything's working as appropriate. Can everyone hear? Can everyone hear anything? Or am I just talking to no one? Oh my goodness, I'm an idiot. Now it works. Shoot. That's embarrassing. So let's try it again. So yeah, as I was saying before, we have a 3/4 part right here. So the guitar riff over here is in 3/4. So yeah, These are some GarageBand generated drums. I don't think there's actually a ton going on here. Just yeah, some small stuff with the reverb. The bass. So yeah, the bass is really cool because I'm really happy with myself for writing that bass line actually. So I thought it really accented that well. And then of course, you always want to make sure you have a little bit of like random sound effects. I feel like adding like a bunch of random sound effects in your music that doesn't really make a lot of sense. It makes a lot of cool swings. So this is a guitar preset that I set to that doesn't decay. So I strum the guitar once and it just goes over and over again. So you can hear that kind of in the background. So then everything powers up, and then the vocals come in. So the vocals are actually comprised of a lot of stuff. So let's decompress it. So right now, at this point, when the vocals come in, the riff switches to 4/4. So I wrote a version of the 4/4 riff that comes in. So now this riff now is in 4/4 now. That's again 2 more guitar riffs, which is like really cool. Then we have our I think this is triple taped. So here's one. There is a 2-string ukulele. I will. So on this, I think I have just a delay. That's it. It's mixed and delay, so no auto-tune. So without it, so completely dry, it sounds like this. There is a 2-string ukulele. So adding the delay adds a bit of strength to your voice. The EQing fixes a little bit, and then same thing over here. There is a 2-string ukulele. I will play. Then a lowered octave voice, and that's what makes up your vocals. So yeah, on top of this too, also a very quiet guitar lead line. So this is all the guitar that's going on. Which, you know, it's pretty crazy. Add the bass in. That was a mistake that made it in. That wasn't supposed to be in, but I thought it kind of sounded kind of fun. So a little bloop there. That whoop. But yeah, so it's pretty intense. But like the thing I really wanted on top of that, I was listening to a lot of Geese at this point, and I noticed they kind of or Cameron Winter at this time, and he incorporated a lot of electric piano. So I wanted to do my own. So this was what I wrote for it. So next, why is it so loud? Holy mackerel, it sounds terrible. There we go. That's better. So what we're hearing right now, there's a couple things going on now. So the guitars become very loud. Why am I vocal? Oh, there you go. And then also we have so many different vocal tricks going on here because I really wanted the chorus to sound big. So I added a lot of vocal takes, which I think in the end sounds really cool. So let's listen to it. I wear a slint across my arm. Sorry, I lost my So yeah, pretty cool. So it's important whenever you're singing and you're not very confident in your own voice. I find it very easy to record a lot of layers to your vocals and harmonize a lot of things. It's because it's not hard and it adds a lot of depth to your track, in my opinion. So with that being said, we have our pianos here. So we got these two pianos right over here. So you got the which sounds really dope, actually. So that sounds pretty cool. Anyway, up here we got our guitars. So guitars always require a lot of lee room. So the distortion gets very much loud, and let's just take a listen to what we got here for our guitars. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Got some cool solos and that kind of stuff, and yeah, just it's honestly it's like this song is very atmospheric. So you obviously want to have a lot of layers going on to this, and I think that's just to me is very important. But yeah, honestly, pretty cool. Okay, so. So this kind of bridge over here kind of nicely ties the chorus to the second verse. So we actually have some maracas I recorded in my room on here. So that's pretty cool. And then we have our back to our 3/4 riffs alongside with these single piano shots. So you can hear they're actually slightly off time, which is I think sounds kind of neat. So then we're back to the regular stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Then up here, our bass doesn't really change. It's a very tight sounding bass sound. I really like it. Very busy. Sounds kind of like a halftime kind of breakdown in a metal song, something like that, which is what I kind of appreciate. Waiting as you please, so yeah, I actually sing a little bit more on this one too, so. So it sounds kind of pathetic. It sounds like a beat, but in the grand scheme of things, it actually finds a nice way into there. So not a lot going on here besides. So yeah, actually there's not a lot going on in this verse, even less than verse 1, I'd argue. Then, this is where things become a bit more busy, so we bring back the guitar lead that we got here, and the guitar riff kind of ends out over here, and we bring in this. So we'll bring up the gain on that, just so you guys can hear it. That sounds really good. Why didn't I make this louder? Oh my goodness gracious, I'm such a nincompoop. That sounds so good. Ugh. Bruh, I just hit another freaking hit song in my other song, and it's so quiet in that song, and that pisses me off so much because I didn't even realize this was in here because I added so many tracks and I've gotten so overwhelmed with this, bruh. This is actually frustrating. That sounds so good. Oh my goodness, such a idiot. So anyways, with that disappointment out of the way, we got some harmony here. So we got the web. So we'll take a listen to some of these vocal tracks that I decided to add in here. So we got looks like we got two main ones, we got a low, and we got our harmony. So let's take a listen. Okay, I'm not gonna get to that part, but like that sounds pretty good. I think the vocals do. So it's actually not a lot going on with the vocals here. We actually just have again same thing. Just I like the tape delay because it thickens your voice, but without having the chorus effect. So it really actually does bring up the best parts in your voice, which I find. Not a ton of vocals processing here. When it's just a very simple EQ. So again, we kind of actually I don't think it was even thinks it's EQ'd. This might just be raw signal. I don't even know. It doesn't really matter. It's the song's out. Again, same thing, kind of bringing back those elements of the piano. And for the cool part is, I had this sound effect at the very end. So we'll play this last 2 bars here. So if you heard that, it's actually the Apple reboot sound effect. So if I crank that up to +6, see if you guys can hear it. Maybe I gotta, because it's automated, I gotta increase the gain. Like an idiot. There it is. Now that one's kind of messed up because that one's really loud, but ignoring that, because I'm not gonna save this, but like. We have many vocal tracks going on here. So we got a couple of harmonization tracks, a couple of this. Mostly wordless. Like I didn't bother transcribing this, but I just kind of copied some words from the previous chorus and put them in there and call it a day. So let's listen to the vocals. So I was actually inspired by this song called Ladies and Gentlemen, We Are Floating in Space by Spiritualized. So Here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're floating in space.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let's see if they'll check OBS. Ah. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let's see if they'll check OBS. Okay, so you can. Perfect.
I can't help falling
Yeah.
in love with you.
I will love you till I die, and I will love you all the time. So please put your sweet hand in mine and float in space and drift in.
So you kind of get that. So I was kind of inspired to write that here. With a little bit optimistically, but you know. So a lot of different guitar elements going on here. So again, same thing, third bass, but very chunky. Oh. Am I just holding that note there? Is that a B? It's a good question. What note is that? Let me see what that is. That's I think it's a C actually. But yeah, anyways, pretty cool. Anyways, we got the David Lynch quote down there. So this was real nature noises I recorded on my front porch. Nice. Yeah, so I'll keep the stream unlisted, so if you ever want to come back and watch this, yeah. Pretty good. I mean, I'm just doing a breakdown right now on the production, so if you, I'm gonna, when the stream is done, I'm gonna keep it unlisted, so if you want to come back and watch it, then send me any questions you got, but yeah. So yeah, these are, yeah, real nature noises that I recorded in my front door, so, with that back to that 3/4 riff, so, we'll play that. So yeah, pretty cool. Played on 2 different parts of the fretboard. Actually, not a lot going on here. So before we actually get into that, I actually wrote a small arrangement that I incorporated into the song. Yeah, so here's actually a part that I recorded. So yeah, I wrote this. So yeah, GarageBand samples, like, for some reason, there's like two GarageBand main like built-in string ones. One of them's called like Natural or something like that, and it sounds terrible. And the other one is like something else or other, and it sounds really freaking good. It doesn't. Oh yeah, string ensemble. See, Smart String sounds bad, but string ensemble sounds very good, and I like string ensemble. So, yeah, this is something cool I wrote for the song. So what makes this part of the song sound so powerful is a beautiful thing called a key change. So the rest of the song is in a different key. This song is boosted up by I think 1 or 2 semitones, which gives it that uplifting feeling and final, oof. A second thing that I added to make that, that this end part feel very uplifting is double tracking the bass. So these two are the exact same bass tracks, except one of them is brought down a full octave. So that's the bass. So it sounds very muddy on its own, but when you bring in the upper bass, again, what is K? For some reason in the song, I'm constantly finding I just add the most baller sounding lead lines ever created to man, or the best stuff I've ever written, and I hide it in the song so deep I can't find it. Like, that's cool. But no, I have to hide it. And the last part is, yeah, just more the harmonization part. Again, with the nature recordings I recorded on my front doorstep sometime earlier this summer without thinking about the song, but I just kind of put it in there. So, yeah. Pretty cool. Again, so a lot of it is just being more comfortable with your voice. So, like, there's so much vocal harmonization going on, especially, I'm going to play it again here in this chorus. Like, in the choruses and stuff, like, these are all, like, all this right here are all vocal tracks right here. So, it's important that you want to learn how to be comfortable. Not comfortable in your own voice, but you know how to manipulate it so you feel better about it. So, I guess being comfortable, yeah. So, these are all the vocal tracks. Take as many as you need to feel comfortable in your own voice. Yeah, the thing was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I rated it on my Letterboxd. I wear a slint across my arm. Sorry, I lost my See, I ignore that my tempo is 160. I don't know why it's so freaking fast. Because I think it's because I hated the way the drums sounded during it. So, whoa. So, yeah. You try to understand your thinking during it, LOL. Aw, thanks, I guess, Mr. Miguel. So, yeah. This is what the processed voice sounds like. It sounds pretty accurate because I'm actually using the same mic that I sung into, which is my gaming headset mic, which means it's very, very loud and funny. Wake up! So, yeah. So, vocal backup. This is what, okay. So, this is what my singing thing sounds like. So you can hear you got that delay. You can hear that like slight slapback, which means that it provides a really good thing. Um, your like my voice, or it makes your voice sound thicker than it is. So la. Hope you can kind of hear that. But yeah, then you put a little bit of reverb on it. You turn down your bottom end. So sounds like this. Your mids are very much present in the recording, which is fine because you have a lot of different vocal takes. Because when you have a lot of it, sounds good. I should have compressed my voice for the final recording, but I didn't because I was lazy. I'm actually really proud of the bass that I recorded for this. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the song. Now maybe I'll come up with more of the songs in the upcoming days on the YouTube live streams, but this is the one I wanted to talk about, Slint, because this song was a ton of work, as in a lot of vocal tracks. Look at that, and not to mention its insane BPM. But yeah, I know last weekend, kind of sad, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. Thanks for tuning in. We didn't even finish our Content Canadian history. Yeah, we didn't. But yeah, it's a pretty cool stream. All right, that's about it. Yeah, that's my song Slint.